Okay, Megovanan everyone, and welcome to a discussion video. Is that what it is? Discussion kind of showcase video. These are going to be just a small handful of films I recommend to check out, you know, to sort of prepare yourself or to get into the mood of this game, Baldur's Gate 3. Hold on, what is a good... Oh shit, what's going on here? Okay, well, yeah, what a nice view. Okay, you know, all of my people are there. Let's move these guys up a little bit just to... Okay, and then you over there, and you over here. Hey, don't go too far. What are you... No. Oh, good. Okay, this is good. Except you need to be facing that way. Okay, stop right there. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay. Yeah, so before I actually begin, there's like a few shout outs. This first shout out, first and foremost, I have to give a shout out to my brother in arms, Todd. His two channels are Toddy Walnuts and Surviving the Horror. Well, nice idols this game has. I meant to actually give a shout out to Todd on my showcase of Gorb's arcade, coffee, and theater house videos, and I forgot. I just got caught up into making the video. I forgot to give him a shout out. He and I, among other folks, we're huge movie fans, so that's the reason why. So that was almost like paying tribute to my dear friend Todd. Okay, so so please, guys, head on over to his Surviving the Horror channel, as well as his Toddy Walnuts channel. That's his movie channel. I'll leave links to these people down below, so please check them out and subscribe to them. And his gaming channel, where he does live streams of just any kind of games that he feels like doing. He and I have somewhat the same taste. You know, we love open world RPGs, so I know Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be one that I'm sure he's gonna like, but games like, you know, the Fallout series and Fallout 76, Fallout 4, so a huge shout out to my brother in arms, Todd E. Walnuts, and his sister channel, Surviving the Horror. The other two gentlemen I'd like to give a shout out to. The first one, I gave a shout out to this person in a post, but I wanted to give him a plug on a video, and that is Buzz Killington. Okay, and he does Fallout 76 home showcase videos, or camp builds rather. He did one where it was a recreation of Megaton. Again, sorry if I I'm not a professional. I try, professional, but in terms of I don't write out any scripts. I just do things all natural. So, forgive me for that. I hope that's okay. I never prepare anything in terms of scripts, but and I don't really prepare for anything prepared beyond the idea of what I want to do, for the video like this. But he did a recreation of Megaton from Fallout 3, and you absolutely need to check that out. Okay, he did just an otherworldly job at that. It's of course you can't get it exactly like in Fallout 3. Well, the graphics are better in 76, I think. When you play it unmodded, especially, but not everything is exactly the same, and there are just certain items in 3 that they don't have in 76, right? So do check him out. Buzz Killington is his name, and please head on over to his channel, tell him I sent you and subscribe to him. The other person is TiBone or TiBone, spelled T-I and then B-O-N-E. So I'm not sure if it's TiBone or T-Bone. I want to say it's T-Bone, like a steak, right? And he's into Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm very new to his channel, and I'm also kind of still new to Buzz's channel, but he does like these update videos on Baldur's Gate 3, which is how I know that I need to completely uninstall my Baldur's Gate 3 early access version. So thank you for that. So do check out TiBone, especially if you're a fan of Baldur's Gate 3, which is what this video is basically about, to prepare yourself for that. So huge shout out to those three gentlemen, to Todd, to Buzz, and to T. Okay, so and then when you subscribe to them, comment on their videos, and please tell them I sent you. Okay, so I didn't pull all the movies down, and I'm sure that there's more that I missed. I would think like Army of Darkness to a certain extent kind of belongs there. I could have said she and even like Red Sonja, those belong there. The movie She, starring Sandal Bergman. Sandal Bergman, that one, right? And one I didn't pull down, but it belongs here. And there's two of them I didn't pull down because I didn't want to go down there and just kind of reach it and move everything aside. But that is Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. I believe I have them in it's on Blue, of course, and it's in like a double feature thing. And the other thing is Antoine Fuqua's King Arthur, and that one stars Clive Owen, and now the late Ray Stevenson. I thought he was excellent in there. I think his name was Dagonet was his name in there. But we have Mads Mikkelsen in there as, I think his name was Tristan. Tristan, how do you do that? I aim for the middle, so I love that. I love that that version of the telling of King Arthur and Excalibur, and of course I love Excalibur too, the original John Boyman one. But those films, I have it but didn't want to pull them. Other ones that I just wish I owned was Dungeons and Dragons 3 and Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. The first Dungeons and Dragons that came out in, I want to say mid-90s. Was it like either I think it's like mid-90s. That one sucked. Okay, it stars Jimmy Olsen from Superman and what is it? Lois and Clark series, and it stars, I think, one of the Wayland brothers, as kind of like his goofy sidekick. I just thought that one sucked, so ignore that one. And there's the Netflix The Witcher series. I thought that's an excellent series. I'm like on episode 6, the third season of what I consider to be the final season because of Henry Cavill leaving. Henry Cavill, right? And so those ones. And the ones I can show, shall I? Okay, I guess I can start with this one. There's really no particular order, but it's the Black Cauldron. Okay, this is the Disney's The Black Cauldron. I tried to pick ones that are like heavy focused on group, like a party-based, heroes, not just like a single hero, where they're like a party, which is like what this game entails. You control a party or a group of ragtag heroes that, either you can create them. I believe it gives you that option at the beginning, but who knows? All this could change when the final game comes. But basically, you create your hero, and then you meet these other people along the way, and they join your entourage. I'm, of course, no stranger to these kind of party-based games, dating back to like the mid 80s with the Bard's Tale, and games like the Ultima series, like Ultima 3 and 4, Ultima 7, played very little of that one, but not from back in the day, sadly. Eye of the Beholder by Westwood, and games like that. And the Might and Magic series, you have a group of heroes that you create. But this one also has that. You have a bard in there, Flufan or Fluflan or something like that. He's the bard. Tehran, the kind of like the young knight. These are basically like just kids. Elenwin, the mage. You have Gurgi. He's kind of like a thief. So I loved it. Okay, and this one also has hearts. So do check this out. So it's party based. Very much, even though it has nothing to do with D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, it appeals to like D&D fans. It flopped back in the day, but trust me, it flopped because it was so dark. I think, the Horn King. A little fun fact: Phil Fondacaro plays the voice of the Creeper. I think his name is the Creeper, which is the little henchman of the Horned King. So we have that. And then the next one, very much like in the vein of the Antoine Fuqua King Arthur, we have Hercules, starring Dwayne Johnson as Hercules. This is supposed to be almost, much like the King Arthur story, like the realistic depiction of them, So there really is no such thing as the magics, as Martin, played by John Amplas from the movie Martin, directed by George A. Romero, and he was also in various other George A. Romero films, I think, like Day of the Dead, the 1985 film. But as he would put it, as his character Martin, there's no such thing as the magics. So, but here I love the characters in here. You have Ian McShane in here. You have Rufus Sewell. I don't know who plays Atalanta. Atalanta, I think her name is Atalanta. She's the archer. Very cool party-based, film. So I love this one. Also, do give that one a chance. I think, that one like flopped, but it's a fun one. I loved it. This is the double feature of the Dungeons and Dragons, 1 and 2. This one is the one that sucks, but it does star Bruce Payne. This guy is Damodar, and he reprises his role of Damodar in this one. Oh, and this is Jeremy Irons in this one. But this is the one that is really good, Wrath of the Dragon God. This one and Honor Among Thieves, the latest one with Chris Pine. And Michelle Rodriguez as Holga, I love her. Hugh Grant also in that one. There's a little Easter egg to those who love the Saturday morning animated cartoons of Dungeons and Dragons from back in the 80s. So this one, and then there's Dungeons and Dragons 3, where that one has a different kind of twist. It is party based, but you have a holy paladin who's he's kind of fresh, and he teams up with a group of miscreants. So it is a group of miscreants, but they're not wholly evil, but they're still pretty evil. So those Dungeons and Dragon films, and of course, you have to pick that. This is Dungeons and Dragons after all, isn't it? This one here, kind of last minute, because I just sort of remembered, is Curse of the Dragon Slayer. Here we have Nemeth. I forgot this guy's name, and then we have, will it tell me their names? I just remember Nemeth for some reason. Oh, Keltis. Yeah, Keltis. And, Keltis. And, what is his name? I can't remember now the orc's name, but in this world, all these different races, orcs, elves, dwarves, they kind of stick to themselves. They don't really get along. So this was kind of unprecedented and unheard of for these three to get together, and they all team up. So this is a party of three, but it's fantastic, and you do have to check this out. My favorite, of course, is Nemeth. But the friendship, the camaraderie that forms between all three of them, but particularly with Nemeth and Kaluman. I think his name is Kaluman, I think Kaliman, the orc, is very great. And there's a part where he takes this little rowboat. He has to go across the river to meet up with his teammates, and these kind of killer mermaids come to approach him to try to bring him under and seduce him and kill him. It's like, I don't lay with fish. So that's very cool. So do check out Curse of the Dragon Slayer for sure, right? And then finally, and again, like I said, there's probably still a bunch more that I missed, but these are just the ones I could immediately think of that kind of fit the spirit of something like Baldur's Gate 3. That's, of course, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and one I don't have is the Hobbit trilogy. Target came out with a box set very much in this style, but I missed out on that. I just thought I could get it later down the line, and now they no longer carry it. I just don't have the Hobbit trilogy extended editions at all, but I do have to add that to this one. If I'm able to get it maybe secondhand on eBay for a decent price, maybe I'll get it so long as the condition is good. But this one, come on, this is like the epitome of party-based, fantasy fare. Legolas, Boromir, Gimli, Aragorn, Frodo, Samwise, Pippin, Merry, come on, all that. And you got Arwen, even though she didn't really tag along with this group, but Arwen, played by Liv Tyler, excellent character. Kate Blanchett, as Galadriel. I love it. Stay away from that Rings of Power. To me, I thought it was horrible, but actually might be better than that Willow series. Willow is another one, so how can I forget that? I own Willow as well. Again, it's down there. I wasn't thinking about it, but I didn't want to reach for it, to move everything out of the way. But great party-based, film. All of them. Great cinematography. I love all the food parts, the eating parts. The part in the very first Hobbit film, which is a prequel to these ones, right? The first of the prequels. There's a part where the dwarves drop unannounced to Bilbo Baggins' home, played by Martin Freeman, and they all begin washing his dishes. First they start eating, and they start washing his dishes and start singing a song. That's what Bilbo Baggins hate, or something like that. That might have been the cartoon, but they were singing a song, and I love that song. And then the song Misty Mountains, sung by Thorin, and then the rest of the dwarves jump in. Two beautiful songs in there, I thought. So I thought the Hobbit trilogy was also underrated. For some reason, it seemed like it initially got some hate, but now, as all things, time proves certain things to become classics. I've discovered this, quite some time ago. But anyways, that is it. I think I've made this long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed. I cannot wait for this. This will be the last time I really get on the Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access version, because now I'm going to delete it. I have to uninstall it because it has to be a fresh install for the full version of yeah, there it is. Full version of Baldur's Gate 3, right? Otherwise, there can be some conflict. I think this is like 80 gigabytes for the early access, and this is just early access. The full game is like 150, so I must delete this, and then I'll have room, but I think I might delete even more just to make sure I have well over enough. I think it's better. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, look at this. It's almost like first person when you zoom in close up like this. So I love that. So it's so many different points of view, perspective. You can play this in a way. Or zoom it all the way, isometric, Diablo style almost, Yeah, that's it. I'm getting too carried away. Hope you all enjoyed, and please don't forget to check out those 3 people that I gave a shout out to. My very dear friend Todd, to Buzz Killington, and to TiBone or TiBone. Please head on over to their channels. Show them much love and support. Subscribe to them. And please, if you like what you see here, I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to me as well. Big shout out to everyone in my Adventurers Guild Discord group. Folks like Scamp, folks like Aina, Danny, ASMR Like a Teacup, everyone. Zoe, everyone. So thank you. Okay. Mike, I'm missing people, aren't I? I can't. Xenoc. Okay, that's enough.